Hi everyone, I'm just sharing my screen. Welcome to training session number 2. I hope the technology is a little bit better this time. We're going to be talking about learning skills and learning styles in this session. This is an information-packed session. There's going to be a lot of information for you to look at. You're not expected to learn it, but you are expected to know about it. There are some basic learning skills every child needs if they're going to be successful in school. And these learning skills are the foundation of all learning. One of the reasons children struggle to learn in school is because they are missing one or more of these basic learning skills. They may not be missing them, they may have developed them, but they may not use them. We need to know whether they have developed them, and we need to encourage them to use them. The basic learning skills are the skills that are covered in the Porter Diagnostic Learning Assessment. Now, these skills are not taught in schools. They're not taught directly in schools because schools are too busy teaching the curriculum. They're too busy teaching the information and knowledge that children need. School's job. This is what they're supposed to do. So this is a good thing for them to happen. If you remember from the last session, gaining knowledge and information was the second stage of learning. Developing learning skills is the first stage of learning. So how do these children get these skills? Well, parents help them develop them, either consciously or subconsciously, just by parenting. And as you can see, most of these skills are developed well before children go into school. But parents don't know about these skills specifically, so they don't help children develop them in a systematic way. And that is why it's very easy for even bright children to miss out on one or more of these important skills. Now, these are not just 12 skills that I have conjured up from the ether. These are 12 skills that I have derived from the kind of skills learning experts look at when they're looking at children's learning. Especially, I've relied on the work of Dr. Reuven Feuerstein, who worked at Bar-Ilan University in Israel. I was taught to diagnose a whole range of learning skills, or a lack of a whole range of learning skills. I was taught by him to do this. But it was far too complex and complicated for parents to handle, and it isn't something that could be done over the internet. It had to be done one-on-one. So what I have done is I have amalgamated these skills and redefined them into skills that are easy to assess and easy to understand, but they are as important as the many skills that Dr. Reuven Feuerstein uses. The learning skills I've got come in 3 sets. There's physical learning skills, emotional learning skills, and cognitive learning skills. There's 4 skills in each set, and they come in order. The child needs the physical learning skills and the emotional learning skills in order to get the cognitive learning skills. They're the brain focus. They relate to different parts of the brain. So it's brain research that's gone into this. And they are interdependent. You cannot be missing one skill without it having an effect on the other skill. You're going to be learning about this as we move along. These are the physical learning skills: vision, hearing, movement, and energy. Vision, a child has got to be able to see to learn. If you can't see, then it's a disability, and that has to be handled in a different way. Many children, or several children, have got visual problems that are not picked up until they've been in school for a while, and they can't see the work they're doing. So checking that the child has good vision is important. Hearing, another physical skill that they need to have good, clear hearing. A child who can't hear doesn't know what is missing. Movement, kids need to be able to move freely because they learn through their bodies and they have to interact with people. And energy, children need energy to be able to learn. It takes a lot of energy to learn. The brain takes up a lot of energy. So energy is to do with sleep and good food. These are the emotional learning skills children need. And these emotional learning skills are all to do with the attitude, the kind of attitude the child has. The attitude they have about themselves, are they self-confident and do they have self-esteem? Those are different things. Self-confidence is the first thing that gets destroyed if a child is struggling to learn and doesn't know why. They have to have good attitudes about others. Sorry about the spelling mistake. They have to be able to work as part of society. So they need skills of responsibility and cooperation. They have to have good attitudes about their work. They need to know about the effort and the accuracy that it needs in order to get their work done. If they don't understand that, or if they think that all work should be easy, then they're going to get disappointed very quickly and stop trying. And they have to have good attitudes about the future. They have to be optimistic about the future. Otherwise, why learn? Why try and do anything? And they have to be able to handle change. Handling change is not something that comes easily to some children or adults. And then we move on to the cognitive learning skills. These are the school-based skills that children need. Attention. Children need to be aware that there is a problem. This is the very first aspect of attention. If they don't see that there's a problem, if they don't think that there's a problem, they're not going to pay any attention to it. And then they need the skills of being able to attend, to being able to focus, to be able to share their attention, to be able to attend to one thing. Once they've attended to something, say they've attended to what the teacher has been saying, then they have to understand what the teacher is saying. And the skills of understanding involve visual and spatial skills. They have to understand what they're looking at, and they have to understand the space that they are in. I think actually it's verbal and spatial skills. I should have there, my mistake, verbal and spatial skills. They have to understand what the teacher is saying, and they have to understand the space that they're in. The third skill is processing. They have to take that information that they've understood and do something with it. They have to be able to plan how to use it. And they have to understand its relationship to other things in their life. It's no use having a piece of information that doesn't relate to anything else. That makes it incredibly difficult to understand. And the last, and a skill that many children and students fall down on, is production. They have to be aware of the effort and accuracy needed to produce a good product at the end of the day. You're also going to be learning and reading about learning preferences. Children learn in different ways. Gardner has got 8 main ways that children learn. It's called multiple intelligences. He described the ways that children were intelligent. The leap that I make and many make is that children use their main intelligence to help make learning easy. Now, there's no right or wrong ways. It's just the way children are hardwired, basically, or the experience that they've had. There are some ways that are slightly better than others, but only because of the school system. And these ways of relearning relate to how children are smart. If a child is verbally intelligent, then he is word smart. He understands the words that are spoken. And there's 8 ways of learning, 8 preferred ways of learning. Children can be self-smart. They like to learn on their own. like to go in a corner, read a book, work things out themselves. People smart, they much prefer to work with other people around. I'm a self-smart learner. I have a friend who's a people-smart learner, and I think she's asked for advice. I've given her advice, and then she's completely ignored it. She's gone away and asked a million more people the same question because she needs feedback from a lot of people. It drives me nuts. Picture smart learners. I'm also picture smart. I learn from looking and seeing. I have to have my glasses on when I'm answering the telephone. I have to be able to look at something even though I'm talking on the telephone. Word smart, reading, writing, discussing, listening. Number smart, doing things in order, logical, like a structure, like to know the next step in what they're doing. Body smart, learn by moving. They learn through their body's movements. I've had children who the only way they could learn to read was when they were walking around the classroom with the book, trying to read it. They could not sit still. Their brain didn't work when they were sitting still. Music smart, some children are very attuned to the rhyme and rhythm of music. And nature smart, some children are much more able to learn and absorb information when they are in touch with the world around them. So those are the 8 main ways, and you're going to have information on each of these ways. Smarts and skills are related, and that's why they're both there in the learning assessment and in the learning assessment results. If you use the way a child is smart, you can help him develop the skills he needs, the skills he may have missed. It's much easier to help a child develop these skills when you work with him in the way he likes to learn. When a child is in school, they're often taught in word smart ways or number smart ways. This is the way teachers work. And you have to give children who learn in different ways, you have to give them strategies to adapt the way they are being taught to the way they learn best. This is the second reason children struggle to learn. They're not being taught in the way they like to learn, and they don't have the strategies to change the way they're being taught to the way they learn. When you read about the strategies, they will be there and you will be able to pass them on to parents. If a child needs extra support, this is the third stage of learning, move to mastery, then if you provide support that matches the way the child likes to learn, it's much easier for that child to use that support, and learning becomes quicker and easier. So your homework for this session is to read about the 12 skills. There's a PDF on each of the skills coming your way, or it should be available in the material for this session. Read about the 8 styles. There's a PDF on each of the styles. And I want you to review the strategies sections. The strategies sections in each of the other PDFs. And there's also a strategies section that I'm getting published, and they take a slightly different view. In the book, I have split the strategies into 4 strategies. Standard strategies, there are 5 of those. These are general strategies that all parents should be using, and these are things that you can help parents with very easily. Super strategies, which relate to the area of support in which a child needs help. Specific strategies, which get down to developing certain skills or helping children develop strategies to use their preferred way of learning. And then the last set of strategies I call success strategies. This is when all these strategies are linked to the actual learning goal that the parents need. This will become much clearer when we get into the Porter process, which is going to be the second part of the training session. So basically, these 2 sessions, session 1 and session 2, are giving you the background and the information you need to start using the Porter process. I will mention the Porter process a little bit, and then we will go into how you talk to parents about the assessment and about the Porter process. Thank you. I'm going to see if I can get out of this and stop the recording.